My website philosophy is provide kick-ass, totally novel content that appeals to nerds and intellectuals, and then make it surface appearance crude enough to repel everybody else. So overhead projectors for the win. None of this PowerPoint stuff. Replication of supposed lost secrets. We're not doing how to make ball lightning or how to drill holes through glass with a Tesla death ray or how did Tesla discover his motor. What are typical wrong beliefs about Tesla? Misconceptions. Nope, don't have time. The secret of broadcast power. Remote viewing Tesla's labs. Making startup companies based on retrieved secrets. And the invention of radio and everything that Marconi stole. Nope, we're doing the earthquake machine, radiant energy patent, and the death ray. And if I have time, they have all kinds of little speculative secrets that aren't in any books. Bill Beaty here at the University of Washington Chemistry Department. I'm an electrical engineer, research engineer, that we do high voltage and pulsed RF and also repairing everybody's stir plates. But Nikola Tesla, what did he do? What's all the huge internet hype and used to not have any Tesla in the books at all, and now he's everywhere. Well, Tesla was a major historical figure at the stature of Thomas Edison, who got himself suppressed. He was the enemy of a couple of incredibly powerful corporations and some major powerful individuals. So 50 years of no Tesla at all, when he used to be the combination of Bill Gates and Elon Musk, that he was the darling of the yellow press, Mr. Science on magazine covers, and everybody being major Tesla followers and fans. And then after 1920, 1930, he was just gone. But that was quite intentional. So every single conspiracy fanatic in the world now is a Tesla follower. And you can imagine how science responds to that. So online, we have big communities who know nothing about Tesla, but they're fanatical fans. And they get all their information from online echo chambers saying that Tesla invented radar, and Tesla invented AC, and Tesla invented X-rays. No, he was a major player in all of those, but he didn't invent AC. He invented three-phase AC, which is the one we use today, but it was already in wide use before Tesla came along. But all kinds of things like that, and they attracted all the Tesla followers, attracted a big community of rabid Tesla haters. That these are all the activist, atheist, materialists calling themselves the skeptic community. So they say that Tesla did nothing. He was a con man, scam artist. What's the term? Follower of the spotlight. And they don't realize that, no, he didn't get a Nobel Prize, but he, in 1956, got his own MKS unit and made international in 1960. So 1909 Nobel Prize winners, they're all going to be totally unremembered and forgotten in a century or two. But coulombs and volts and farads, newtons and amperes, and Teslas, the unit of magnetic flux intensity. So Tesla basically got 100 Nobel Prizes, and he's going to be remembered for centuries because of that. He's up there with Hertz. We don't have cycles per second. We have MKS Hertz. I say they should have made the frequency standard be the Teslas, and then they never hear the end of it instead of the Hertzes. But Tesla, if he's only a scam artist and didn't invent anything, well, that's what the skeptics say. But then why did Yale and Columbia, I think he had 11 honorary PhDs. And yes, he really did invent the industrial AC motor. He didn't invent the physics concepts that actually was invented shortly before, like a matter of months, although there were physics demonstrations known before Tesla was born about rotating fields. But he invented the industrial AC motor and the three-phase power grid. So what you see on the landscape, he totally changed the world with three-phase power towers and the motors, which are equivalent to the Zenobie-Graham DC motor, which there's a name that you never hear, that Graham invented the DC motor, even though Michael Faraday invented the little laboratory curiosity version, the tiny, feeble Faraday motors, and which were known for 50 years before any inventor figured out, not for lack of trying, how do you make a DC motor that you can get many horsepowers out of, or even small DC motors, because all the ones they had looked like steam engines for 50 years, or they had no closed magnetic loops, so they were flea power. And Graham invented a high power DC motor by accident. And Tesla invented his motor in a flash of insight, where he says he got it in a moment, and it seems like he got extensive plans, like you'd have to write an entire book after getting the genius flash. And his insight to getting the Graham motors, as an aside, was, and I've done this as a little kid, if you have a DC motor, you hold the shaft and you spin it. And then you put batteries on it, and you're holding the shaft, and it's whizzing around with its own batteries. And the shaft is still, and the field magnets are whirling. That was the secret of the AC motor, that Tesla knew it was industrial right at the start, because it was the industrial DC motor. He everted it. It was a Copernican revolution, where you hold the Earth still and the sun races across the sky, and now the sun is still. And then you stand off the Earth and it goes 500 miles an hour under your feet. That was how he got the motor. But and the motor is inherently three-phase or two-phase four-wire or 11D phase. I think he had 30-phase that he said that he experimented with. So three-phase ended with a big shakeout. It ended up being three-phase was the one that took over. Although I was just over at the giant Seattle steam plant, and there's massive General Electric installation with DC generators and AC motors. And all the AC motors, General Electric, are two-phase, same as the original Westinghouse with four-wire. So they're not even three-phase when they built the big Seattle steam plant. By sheer coincidence, I heard this great solution to the secret of Tesla's earthquake machine. The earthquake machine, it was before Tesla coil, so it was probably 1891 that Tesla told the story of almost knocking a building down. And earlier, he was exploding large metal objects. And I finally heard that story, is that he had a 2-foot single link of a steamship's anchor chain, 2 feet across and 2 inches in diameter for the chain link. And a mechanical vibrator, these were little massive piston devices. Who knows how fast, if they could get up to 1 kilohertz, that it was self-valving and air film supported. So bolting that, he said it was the size of an alarm clock, bolting that to the single iron chain. And the witnesses said that the thing blurred out and looked like a beating heart before exploding. And one of the stories was that Tesla did this outside on the sidewalk, and it attracted a crowd. And when it unexpectedly shattered, one half of it rocketed across the street and slammed into the facing building. And nobody was killed. It's like the Tesla luck. And driven by 350 psi of steam, so considerable horsepower ending up inside of the vibrating ring. But the Tibetan bowl, it does the same thing. It blurs out once you get it driven. And the trick is, if you hit it with a knock or a drumstick, you keep resetting every time you hit. so it doesn't build up, but Tesla's was a synchronous drive. So that's the same as violin bowing or a wine glass, wet finger on a wine glass. Conceivably, you can explode things that way, so doing a resonant synchronous drive instead of just hitting like a bell. So explode a bell by violin bowing rather than knocking it with a bell knocker. So the earthquake machine solution, well, I was brought in for a science museum exhibit proposal to build physics exhibits for a local flying saucer museum. That the project never went anywhere. But the main funder was from APE and Arias construction firms that make huge vibratory pile drivers. And this guy said he made all his money off of Nikola Tesla's earthquake machine because well, his invention was a very small version with tungsten eccentric weights spinning oppositely, so the thing would only have a vertical vibrating mode up to 30 hertz. And Boeing wanted to pile drive giant I-beams inside of buildings, inside of existing buildings for earthquake remediation, and that was impossible until John W., our guy, was an expert in repair of pile drivers of the vibratory type. So he designed a custom one, little bitty thing that was only 3 feet on a side, that you could bolt onto a giant vertical I-beam, just like the Tesla story. And when you turn it on, the I-beam would rapidly sink into the ground under its own weight, because down at the bottom, that's where it's creating soil liquefaction and soil flows, and the thing can just burrow like a acoustic drill bit. So it was, he succeeded, made millions, bought a mansion, funded flying saucer movie and a local UFO parade. So definitely a Tesla coil guy, or Nikola Tesla guy. And the industry, since now he had little bitty ones, because they used to be these gigantic things at the standard size, they could, with his company, have a whole bunch of them on the same piece and be able to sink gigantic things into the ground. But the Tesla story was that Tesla hooked his vibrator onto a vertical beam in his lab and said that all kinds of things started happening. There were cracking noises, and lathes and milling machines were flying around, sliding on the floor. And he had to smash the valve because the building was going to collapse within a matter of seconds. But how can he tell that? Like, you're doing the earthquake machine, why would you say that? Well, if he was pile driving, then of course you could see things are sliding downhill and the floor is tilting, and you realize that the main beam is migrating down quickly, and you have to smash the steam valve, because if you had to turn the steam valve faucet many turns, he said the building would be down around his ears immediately. And yes, everything fits together. He accidentally discovered vibratory pile drivers. Pile drove his own building main support beam, and that was the part of the story that he never disclosed. Also, if you want to go and look at the building that this happened to, is the floor tilted? Well, that was the famous building that burned down in the fire in 1895. So years later, if somebody wanted to go before the fire, well, 1895 was the cutoff date for seeing if Tesla had caused the floor to start collapsing. And maybe the earthquake was exploding windows of that huge building. So if it was neighborhood based, maybe it didn't go beyond the block. And if everything was vibrating and a main beam was migrating down and bending and twisting the entire building, so you had exploding windows, everything suddenly makes sense. And maybe Tesla didn't even know all this at the time, or he was keeping it secret so he could have yet another secret product to burst upon the world, the vibratory pile drivers using resonance, where you could get a little bitty one that's tuned to resonance, rather than some 100 horsepower hydraulic device. That was John W.'s company, where it has rotating gears that are several hundred pounds each made out of tungsten.